What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So this whole ring size shrink in the ring, no running rule explained by His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. And shouts out to two-division world champion, retired Hall of Fame superstar boxer, Timothy Desert Storm Bradley. Because I reached out to him and a few other high-profile people because I was being told that a standard boxing ring in the amateurs is 18 by 18, which is not true. It can vary from different sizes. But with that said, we got wind and information that we're going to get this Shakur Stevenson Williams Zepeda showdown July 12th. And His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh had put out a tweet on social media where he stated, Riyadh season himself and the Ring magazine can no longer get behind fighters that don't want to engage, that are quote unquote running around the ring. He called it Tom and Jerry boxing, right? If you know anything about the cartoon Tom and Jerry, Tom was the cat and Jerry was the mouse, and Tom chased Jerry throughout the entire series of that cartoon being in existence, right? It was just chasing, running and chasing, running and chasing, running and chasing all the time. So he said he don't want Tom and Jerry boxing. And obviously that highlights the performance that Devin Haney had against Jose Ramirez, Shakur Stevenson performance against Edwin De Los Santos, and William Skull performance against Canelo Alvarez. So you had guys like Showbiz the Adult, shouts out to my brother Showbiz the Adult, who stated that he wanted to implement a no running rule. He even, if I'm not mistaken, he created a poll or something like that, a petition, if I'm not mistaken. With that said, I understand everybody's thought pattern when they're coming up with this quote unquote no running rule. But with that said, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh decided to go a step further. As I told you, you can't implement no running rule. But he went a step further to assure that we get engagement. And he shrunk the ring size. At least that's in the eyes of many. And the Shakur Stevenson Williams Zepeda showdown is going to be in an 18 by 18 size ring, along with Hamza Shiraz versus Edgar Berlanga. That favors Edgar Berlanga. He don't have to cut the ring off. He don't have to work as hard to get on the inside of the taller, rangier Hamza Shiraz, and he's the bigger puncher. So that's going to work in his favor. The smaller ring, people feel like it's going to work in the favor of Williams Zepeda, who's a pressure fighter, right? But when you actually look at the numbers, because I know a lot of people are throwing out these numbers and a lot of people are steadfast on saying that, this is not a good thing. It's a small ring. It's going to favor the brawler, the pressure fighter, so on and so forth. But when you actually look at the ring sizes, it's really not as bad as it seems. Yes, it's a small ring. Yes, it's going to force engagement. But it's not really bad as it seems, right? To give you the actual numbers, a small ring is considered 16 by 16 feet. A medium ring is 18 by 18 feet. A large ring is 20 by 20 ring. And a professional boxing standard ring is 18 by 24. Right? Which is actually extra large ring. So a professional ring is extra large, right? And a large ring is considered 20 by 20. So a medium ring is 18 by 18. So is it small? Yes. Is it outlandishly small? No. Is it going to force engagement? Yes. My thing is this: if you're a pure boxer, a skilled boxer, a elusive boxer, you can make your opponent miss in the phone booth. Is it fatiguing? Yes. Like vice versa, right? If you have such a large ring, it's going to tax the pressure fighter trying to cut the ring off, right? With such a large ring, so much real estate to cut off. And in a medium ring of this sort, it's going to tax the slick fighter to continue to make you miss in a phone booth, right? Great defensive fighters, slick fighters, can make you miss in a phone booth. Floyd Mayweather, James Toney, Willie Pep, Pernell Whitaker. They thrived on having highlight reels of standing right there in front of you in the pocket and making you miss in the pocket consistently. When you look at Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo, he made Canelo miss in the pocket consistently. When you look at Pernell Whitaker and Oscar De La Hoya, or whomever you so choose, the great fights he had, he made you miss in a phone booth and clowned you while he did it. The same went for Willie Pep, James Toney, right? He made Roy Jones miss in a phone booth, right? So the greats can consistently make you miss in a phone booth. And if we're going to say Shakur Stevenson's and Devin Haney's and all of these fighters are great defensive fighters, because I believe they are, well, they shouldn't have a problem making you miss in a phone booth consistently and making you pay. See, the ultimate thing about it is this. And this is why I said it's going to backfire on the pressure fighter, because this is just going to force the Devin Haney's and the Shakur Stevensons, because these are the two fighters that we're obviously highlighting in this entire equation. It's going to force them to make you pay. See, they can make you miss and slip out. It doesn't matter the ring size, right? 18 by 18. They're going to slip out. They're going to be elusive. They're going to use their jab, create distance. The ultimate thing they have to do is make you pay, right? So when you miss, there was times where Jose Ramirez missed and Devin Haney had opportunities to make him pay, and he didn't. There was times where Teofimo Lopez made Arnold Barboza miss, and he could have made him pay, and he didn't. There was times where Shakur Stevenson made Edwin De Los Santos miss. Now, in that case, he had two injured hands, right? Now, that may affect Shakur Stevenson more so than anybody, because Shakur Stevenson has brittle. So Shakur Stevenson hands can be a problem for consistently hitting you and making you pay. That can affect him in the long run. But ultimately, when you look at it, Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney make you miss in a phone booth. The ultimate goal here is, with this small ring, is that they're going to have to make you pay to keep you up off him. And we've seen they can do it. You've seen them do it against Devin versus Jorge Linares, Regis Prograis. You've seen it against Yoshino for Shakur Stevenson, Jamel Herring for Shakur Stevenson, and Oscar Valdez. So we know they have the ability. And it, to me, it's just going to be worse for their opponents, because they actually give you a break in time to think. In this case, they start making you pay in the phone booth. The level of output for their opponent is going to drop anyway, because if they start getting hit and countered, they're going to start being hesitant. And guess what's going to happen? It's going to slow the fight down and allow them to move around the ring anyway. But it's going to be interesting. But when you actually look at the ring sizes, yes, it's a drastic difference from when you look at the image from the pro ring that's actually an extra large ring when it's 18 to 24 inches, and a medium ring that's 18 by 18. So it's going to make it very, very interesting for sure. But boy, I can't wait. I can't wait. Devin Haney responded. Shakur responded. Shakur said it's just going to backfire. Devin Haney said, when you got a jab and footwork like me, it won't matter. So I can't wait. I can't wait. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out, man. Maybe this will entice Teofimo Lopez to take the Devin Haney fight, since the ring is being shrunk, right? Williams Zepeda already got the fight with Shakur, so this should benefit him, right? But what if it don't benefit them? What if it don't benefit Teofimo Lopez and he still gets outclassed by Devin Haney in the pocket and Shakur dominates Williams Zepeda in the pocket? Do we now go back to the standard ring because we realize it really didn't matter anyway? So let's see how this unfolds and plays out, man. Is this going to benefit when Turki Al-Sheikh, His Excellency, possibly see Hamza Shiraz get flatlined by Edgar Berlanga because now we got that small ring and that's his guy, and Williams Zepeda get dominated in the pocket? Does it really matter at that point in time? Are we going to talk about no running rule and ring sizes? It'll go away extremely quick. It's equivalent to people saying with Steph Curry, oh, we got to move the three-point line back. Then he start hitting shots from the logo. Nobody's talking about the three-point line being moved back or anything because it don't matter. He can hit it from the logo. And so now that whole notion and narrative that Steph Curry can't shoot from the three-point line is too close, he got to move it back. And he started shooting threes from the consistently and making them from the logo in the middle of the court. And then everybody started doing it. So it didn't even matter. Guess what? That whole narrative went away because it's like, oh, well, if we move it back 2 feet, it really ain't going to matter anyway. If that's the case with this situation, very possible. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out, man. But that's all I got for y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV. All one word. It's your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.